Now, I want to do something special real quick. This side right here, I don't need you to sing, because I don't need no glass breaking. But all I want you to say is, ain't no mountain. I know it's not politically correct, but it's okay. Ain't no mountain on this side. Ain't no valley on this side. Ain't no river on this side. Can we do that? So we're gonna count on three, okay? Because I want to let y'all know we finna make this happen. So 1, 2, 3.
Ain't no mountain, ain't no valley, ain't no river.
Okay. Y'all sound good right here. Hold on. We gonna move a little backwards, so we gonna go right back here.
Ain't no river, ain't no valley, ain't no mountain.
Now one more time. I need you to say it with your chest. I need you to feel it. All right. So we're gonna go one more time, okay?
Ain't no mountain, ain't no valley, ain't no river.
Now that's beautiful. Now let me tell you what's so special about that. See, when you listen to the song, it depicts a relationship. And I'm here to tell you the best relationship we can have is the one we have within ourselves. So despite how high that mountain is, are you willing to climb to become the best version of you? Despite how low that valley is, are you willing to go down in the valley to become the best version of you? Despite how wide that river is, are you willing to do it? See, I didn't come all the way from Alabama just to look at you, look at me, and I look at you, look at me. I didn't come here for that. I want you, when you walk out of that door today, say, you know what? I'm going to be better today. I have no choice because there's people that are counting on me. There's people that are relying on me. And if I'm not taking care of me, I'm messing up everybody else. So this is not going to be your average keynote. Some moments you're going to want to smile. You may want to cry. You may want to dance. And all I'm going to say is, you do you, boo. But on a serious note, listen, I got 3 rules before we get started. 1, I'm from Alabama. So I'm going to say something, and you're going to look at your neighbor and say, what did he just say? Just let me have it, okay? Just let me have it. 2, on a serious note, I need this to be a safe space. So with that being a safe space, what I want you to do, if you could just put your phone down for a second, take off your crown, and let me pour into your heart. I promise you your life going to change. But there's some of you that's already have this negative connotation. You already have this negative mindset. So this is why you keep missing every opportunity that come your way. So I asked you to take it off so I can pour into you. So then that way you can pour into the other people that you are serving. See, one thing they ain't tell you about, I'm not afraid to call you out. Because when I'm done, I'm going back to Alabama. Ha ha, you can't catch me. But rule number 3, by the time I'm done with this keynote, you may want some cake. And I'm just going to tell you, I ain't going to tell your spouse, your partner, your kids, your gym membership, whatever the case may be. So you're going to get you the biggest slice of cake you want. That's between you and that cake, okay? Now, I got to ask, do we have any bakers in the room? Okay, we have a few. Let me ask you a question. What's your favorite cakes? Red velvet? Pound cake? German chocolate. Security! So over here, what's our favorite cakes? Okay. Now I want you to understand, each cake has a recipe. And if you follow that recipe, you're able to recreate this cake over and over again. But the thing I know about life is that sometimes life takes away some ingredients. And so you have to adjust. And now my question for you is, are you willing to get your recipe? Are you willing to go get it? So when you lose something, are you willing to go chase it and say, you know what, I deserve to become the best version of me, so I'm going to figure this out? I didn't get the chance to tell y'all, but I'm a social worker by trade. I got my bachelor's in community health and human services. I'm actually getting my PhD right now in community health promotions and the focus on resilience. And so I say all that to not to brag, but to let you know I get it. I know how it feels to serve. And you can't even serve yourself. I know how it feels to give resources, but you wondering where your next meal coming from. I know how it feels to try to get with everybody and try to have a social life, but yet you're so drained from work that it don't exist. I get it. But today, again, if you take off your crown and let me pour into your heart, I promise you, you're going to understand what I'm saying. So this is going to be a little awkward for y'all, but I need your help. okay? You see the question on the board. I don't need you to answer it yet. We're going to do something special. I need you to partner up. And once you partner up with that person, don't start talking yet, because I know when I tell adults to do something, they immediately do it. I'm like, whoa. And then I'm trying to keep everybody under control and everybody going crazy. So hear me out and we're going to get started. So I want you to find a partner. And you're going to look at that partner and you're going to ask this question. But here's the catch. I don't need you to respond. I need you to let it sit in your soul. I need you to allow it to sit with you. Mike, you want to do me a favor? You come here for a second. Now, I'm going to give you an example of what I don't want you to do. When is the last time you felt seen? Here's what I want you to do. When is the last time you felt seen? He cheated. No, don't answer. Thank you. Take a seat for me. So I want you to take this time to partner up. And so we're going to move forward after we do this. And I know it's going to feel awkward, but please just trust me on this. So I'm going to give you to the count of 10 to find your partner. And again, once you ask that question, you then rotate. Do y'all understand the instructions? If I lose control, if you see my hand raising up, bring the attention back to me, okay? All right, on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Ask your partner. All right, rotate. All right, attention back on me. Didn't I tell y'all this was gonna happen? Attention back on me. And some of y'all wonder why the kids don't listen to y'all. Oh, my bad. I'm sorry. I'm stepping on toes now. Attention back on me. Here. I want to ask a simple question. How did that feel? Some of y'all may say good, awkward. And the reason I asked that question is because I was in Arizona one day at a conference, and I was walking by this lady, and she said, "How are you?" I said, "I'm good," and I just kept walking. But she messed me up. She said, "What makes it good?" And I turned around like, "Ma'am, I don't know you." But then I thought even deeper. I realized something. We have gotten so used to just saying, "Hey, how are you?" and keep walking that it became a formality. And so I want to ask if there's anybody that's bold enough and vulnerable enough to stand up and say, "Hey, I can't tell you the last time I felt seen." Is there anyone in this room? Can you stand up for me? Anybody else? Can I get you to come down for me? I got something special for you. So first thing I want to do is this. I see you. I value you. And don't worry about what they don't see, because the people you serve see it. And I don't care who judges you. I don't care who's not supporting you. I am counting on you, because I can't save this world by myself. And I'm so glad that you had the courage to not only stand up, but to walk up here in the front, because I know you're not the only one. But everybody else is worried about what everybody else is going to say. So I want to let you know I'm proud of you. And thank you. Let me tell you why that matters. We have something we call depression. We have something we call suicide. And what I don't understand in our profession is that we're in the helping profession, but yet we can't help our counterparts. And so as I think about this, it makes me think about the importance of eggs in the cake. Now, I know we got some bakers in here, so I know we have some non-bakers, so I'm going to break this down for you. One day, I decided I was going to go vegan for a year, okay? So vegan means no animal products. Well, I had a sweet tooth, and I decided to go to Whole Food because I didn't know how to bake no vegan cake. So I was like, okay, I'm going to cheat. I'm going to go to Whole Food. And so I walk into Whole Food with a smile, and I see the most beautiful cake in the world. I mean, it had the icing. I mean, it had 2 layers. So I'm like, oh, yeah, this is mine. And so I go buy this cake. I get home, and I'm doing 80 into 65 because I'm ready to get this cake. And what I Get home, I open it, I stick my fork in it, and I notice something. It's still sticking together. And so I begin to try to eat it, and I just chewed and chewed and chewed. And then I realized something. See, the egg that's in the cake gives it its texture. It binds everything together, and it makes it moist. See, the egg is your self-care. See, one thing that you don't realize is simple. The baker knows when the eggs are not in the cake, but the consumer can feel when the eggs is not in the cake. So let me break this down to make this make sense for you. Yeah, you good. You ain't got to worry about taking care of yourself, but you hurting everybody else that you serve. You're literally putting a bad taste in their mouth because you won't take care of you. And so when I tell you this, like, I need you to learn and hear me when I say, stop proving and start doing. I need you to stop proving that you're the best at what you do. I just need you to do it. I need you to stop trying to prove that you belong here. You already got the job. You're here. But I need you to start doing. Because what tends to happen is we get so caught up in life, we forget to take care of ourselves, and now we're frustrated. And I'm going to show you one thing that I love about this. Now, if you notice, when it pops up on the screen, I want to show you something called the cake reset. And look at this. It looks like a mess sometimes, right? It looked like it didn't work the way we planned to. Because when I did the PowerPoint, it wasn't like that. But now I have to adjust. See, I can recognize that there's an issue. Now I have to be able to say, you know what? I got to fix this next time. So next time, let me make the PowerPoint in Microsoft. See, some of that went over your head. See, because you see a mistake and you think it's permanent. Not realizing it's an opportunity for you to grow. Now realizing that adversity is the challenge that you need to become the person that you desire to be. And so when I talk about the cake reset, what I'm really saying is prove, pause, proceed. See, most people fail at the prove stage. That's not the good stage. See, when I'm trying to prove everything, I'm over-functioning, I'm working despite feeling sick, and I'm apologizing for having my time off. You ever been in a place where you know you work in a hard environment and you telling your colleagues, I'm so sorry, but I got to take this day off? What you apologizing for? And so we get so caught up in trying to prove, and what it leads to burnout, compassion fatigue, oh, here go Terry again, oh, what they want. Not realizing that it's you. You know ingredients expire for a reason, right? See, one thing I know about ingredients, you have a best by date, you have an expiration date. If you want the full experience, you want to enjoy it during that best by. But many of us put things in the refrigerator and we forget about them, and then we blame everybody else instead of not realizing that because I put myself on the back burner, that's the reason why that thing expired. But here's the beautiful thing about this. You can always go to the store and get more. You can always go and replenish yourself. And all I'm trying to tell you is that professionals aren't burning out because the work is hard. Professionals are burning out because they feel like they have to prove themselves every single day. Every single day you feel like you got to keep showing up, keep doing this, keep doing that, instead of just doing it. And I'm going to teach y'all a secret. If you learn to refill your gas tank at half a tank, it ain't going to cost as much when you're on empty. I'm just telling y'all what I know. I told you I'm from the country. This is how we do it in the country. I like y'all, man. Y'all good in my book. So let's go to my next one. Pause. Can I tell y'all a secret? That's where the power is. Because we get so caught up and we say things like, I'm going to work hard this weekend or this week so I can rest this weekend. Rest ain't no reward. Rest is a necessity. It's something that we need, and we treat it like it's luxury. And for some people, I get it. You may have to go through some things. But when we start to value our life outside of who we are at work, we begin to understand who we are as people. When you learn to pause, you got to first grieve who you used to be or who you were taught to be. See, I grew up and my grandparents would tell me, you work hard, you get a good job, you go be great. Well, I'm like, Grandma, I'm tired of working hard. And I seen you doing this for 50 years, and I see you still having to work, so something ain't working here. And we get so caught up in this. And so I want to share this with you, and I want to warn people when I say this, that when you pause, you can hear what your body is trying to tell you. See, because I'm about to show something now that's finna blow your mind, and you're finna say, ain't no way, that's not possible. Wait till it comes to the screen. That's me. I was diagnosed at 22. Not only was I diagnosed, they told me I would live with cancer for the rest of my life. Follicular lymphoma. And so when I see people that's not taking the opportunity to take care of themselves, I get frustrated. Because every day I have to wonder, is it the day the cancer comes back and I have to get right back on treatment? Or is it stable where I can stay off of it? And here we are taking things for health as for granted. But I can tell you, this was also my fault. Because it took me losing football for me to actually get quiet to figure out that something was wrong with my body. See, I was like most kids, grew up in a tough neighborhood, and sports was going to be my way out. And so it was football, NFL, nothing else mattered. And then my coaches would tell me, hey, play through the injury. You got this. Be tough. And so naturally, I took that into my life. And so I went to a Division II school in Columbia, South Carolina to play football, full ride scholarship. I knew my parents couldn't pay for it, so it worked out for me. Everything is great. But then I started hearing people get in my head, hey, you know, if you want to go to the NFL, you got to transfer to a bigger school. You got to go to a bigger school. And so what I do, I hit the portal. Now, we didn't have NIL back then. I mean, I'm only 31, but we didn't have NIL, so they were paying me in ramen noodles, you know. And once I hit the portal, I ended up going to a school called UAB. And at UAB, we call that the Harvard of the South. I don't know where that name came from, but I just know we run with it. And I knew that team wasn't the best team, so I told myself I can earn my scholarship and I can go to the NFL and be great. Well, when I get there, I realize something. I'm not on scholarship. That means I got to pay bills. My parents can't pay for it, so I got to take care of it. And so now here I am, this big old, swole, buff dude working as a barista at Barnes & Noble. You ask me about a chai latte, I can give you some flavors that'll blow your mind. And as I'm going through this process, right, I'm also having a second job working at Party City. And it was during Halloween's, and I was the costume runner. So I would have to run and grab the costume, give it to the person. Oh, I don't like that. Okay, take that, run it back. And then I would still have to go to class. And then I'm still trying to train, do what I got to do for football. And then one day, I started hearing rumors. Hey, you know they're going to cut the football team, right? You know they're going to cut the football team, right? And I'm like, oh, nah, they ain't going to cut the football team. Guess what happened? They cut the football team. And so now my whole plan of coming to this school to play the game I love is gone. But then things started to get quiet. See, because then I could just focus on being a student and I could work. And I got so good, I said, you know what? I ain't got to worry about football no more. So let me get a full-time job. So I'm working at a call center selling cable. Y'all know how hard that is to try to sell cable over the phone? And then you got people calling you saying, my TV don't work. And then I got to ask you, did you plug it up? And then they look at me like I'm crazy. And I'm like, did you plug it up? Then when they go look, they're like, oh, yeah, I didn't plug it up. I'm like, okay, cool, thank you. It works now. But as I was doing this, what I discovered was something was off. And I know my fellas in the room can relate to this because at a young age, if something wrong, what we do? Mama. And when I called her, I heard that Al Green in the background, so I knew she was cleaning. I said, Mama, something ain't right. She said, well, baby, go to the emergency room. And so I go into the emergency room, and I'm cocky because I'm like, man, I had a six-pack on top of a six-pack. You couldn't tell me nothing. And I walk into this emergency room. They call my name back. They say we have to do something we call a PET scan. And I look at the doctor, I'm like, I ain't got no PETs, so what are we doing? They take me into this room and I sit on this table for an hour. They bring me back to the room. They tell me, sir, your stomach lit up like a Christmas tree. And I'm like, sir, I ain't eating no Christmas lights, so what you talking about? And at that moment, I knew something was wrong. But I'm going to tell y'all what I did. I called my parents and I said, hey, I'm okay. I'm in the hospital, but I'm okay. See, I didn't even know how to let people be there for me because I was so used to being there for everybody else. And so when I got my diagnosis, he looked me in my eyes and said, hey, I'm sorry to tell you this, but it's cancer. The first thing I thought about was, man, I spent the first 22 years of my life serving everybody else, and I have yet to serve me. And so I ask you, what would you hear if you got quiet? What would you hear if you silenced the voices of others and just listened to that voice inside? What would you hear? See, because many times we juggle. I know resources are low right now, so we're trying to juggle. We're pulling. We're trying to make this stretch. We're trying to make this work. And all it is bringing a lot of chaos, a lot of frustration. I told y'all I'm a social worker, and I graduated with my master's, and I could tell you everybody in my class, it was probably 12 of us. It's only 2 of us that are still in the field. The other 10 said, forget this, I'm gone. Because we don't talk about self-care. We say the buzzword, burnout, that's it. You get burnout. It's like we treat it like a reward. Instead of understanding that burnout is when your soul is saying, hey, I need you to stop. And let me tell you something. Burnout and stress are 2 different things. See, because there's some good stress, then there's some bad stress. So our bodies are going to always have some type of stress. But my question is, when you feel the bad stress, what are you willing to do? What are you willing to stop yourself from going down that path? Or are you going to sit here and say, you know what? It's everybody else's fault but mine. It's my boss' fault. They don't know what they're doing. And maybe you the boss. Like, we find a way to blame everybody else, but I want to tell you, it's power in taking recognition and saying, you know what? Hey, it is my fault. Like, I can tell people, hey, it was my fault that I transferred, gave up a full ride scholarship, and now I had to pay for school. I put myself through that, but here's the power. Because I can recognize it, I can fix it. See, we so used to blame that you don't know what to do. Now you're confused. And this is, again, where the proceed comes from. So we went to prove, we paused, we listened to our bodies, and now we're about to proceed. One thing I want you to understand is that action shouldn't require pressure. It should require alignment. Who all drive? Everybody driving here, right? Again, I'm from the country. So when we driving, I'm in my box Chevy, you know. I feel like I'm on a horse. But I'm in my car, right? And let's say I want to go straight. If I got a misalignment, no matter how much I go straight, I'm going to be pulling. Now I got to pull back. Now, I'm going to get some strong arms because I got to keep pulling, but I want you to understand something. When you operate out of pressure, you put yourself out of alignment. So you expose yourself to more burnout. Okay, let me make sure. I forgot we got some bakers in here, so I'm going to say this. If you have some cake batter, you pour it into a pan. You won't pour it directly in the oven. Okay, that didn't hit as well as I thought that was going to hit. So let me say this. Let's just say the next time you bake a cake, I just want you to dump it all in the oven. Don't even put it in the pan. And tell me what's going to happen. You're finna have a mess. Your oven going to be messed up, and now you're going to blame me, and you can't blame me. But your oven is not going to work properly because you are so focused on creating the cake batter and making the cake that you overlook the alignment part that goes with that. So you know what that means? Sometimes you ain't got to say yes to everything. You know no is a complete sentence. You ain't got to keep explaining why you said no. One thing I started doing, when I say no, I mean it. Nope. Oh, you really going to do me like that? I said my sentence. Because I'm moving in alignment. I'm moving with a purpose. This is where it's going to get real powerful. I need you to let go of who you should be and embrace what's serving you now. See, I believe in being a dreamer, but I'm also believe in making sure that I got the ingredients I need to bake the cake that I want to bake. Meaning that if all I got is the ingredients to make a strawberry shortcake, I can't make no German chocolate. Ew, I said that word again. Security! I can't make no German chocolate. Meaning I have to be intentional, moving with alignment. Next, when you proceed, I need you to understand, it doesn't mean do more. It means do what matters. Make it count. So if you work with kids, you be the best person you can be for those kids. Because I can tell y'all, I had an opportunity to pour into DHR supervisors, staff workers. I got a chance to speak with the kids as well. And the one thing the kids always tell me is that, Rashad, thank you for singing us. Thank you for giving your story. See, because I want y'all to understand something. We have this message and we say things like, a kid should stay in the kid's place. That is not fair. Because how did these kids end up in DHR in the first place? Like, how do we blame them and say, hey, be a kid when being a kid was never a choice? They were forced into adult problems. And here we are saying, you just need to be a kid. I don't know how. Speaking of being a kid, this little cute fella that's finna come up on the screen, man, he's so handsome. As I told y'all, I love cake. It's been something that's been a part of my life for all my life. What I didn't explain to you all is that I grew up in a dysfunctional family where I knew who my father was, but I spent most of my years with my mother. I had 5 siblings where we either have the same mom, or I have 9, because we either had the same mom or we either had the same dad. And I happen to be the oldest. And so being the oldest, you know what that means? I'm the boss. And my mom would work 2 jobs to provide for us. And I couldn't be mad at her because I understood what she was trying to do. Now, with that being said, that's when my love for cooking would come, because I would have to cook for my siblings. Y'all ever heard of hot dog Alfredo? Man, listen, every once in a while, you give me a pack of ramen noodles, give me some hot dogs, and you only can do it with American cheese. And you put that American cheese over that, I'm telling you, it's gonna be the best thing ever. Now, I will warn you, about 15 minutes later, your stomach gonna hurt. I'm sorry. But as I began to fall in love with cooking, I would then begin to spend more time with my great-grandma. And I would watch my grandma take some butter, some flour, some sugar, vanilla extract, and grandma was so good at it that grandma didn't need a recipe because it was in her heart. And while most of the kids would be outside running, see, I was smart. I stayed in the kitchen. Because you know what that means? That means grandma finna say, hey, baby, taste this. See, because my grandma knew how to serve people, but she didn't know how to serve herself. And so she always cooked based off our needs. And so as I sat in the kitchen, like, Grandma, you making some icing? And she's like, yeah, baby, I'll make you some icing. I said, okay, Grandma. It's ready yet, Grandma? And Grandma would tell me, baby, it's ready, but I need you to stop running in my kitchen. Because when you run past the oven, you're going to mess up my cake. When you're running from adversity, you're going to mess up your cake. There's something beautiful that's happening. And so one day I decided if Grandma can do it, I can do it too. So I'm probably around 12 years old. I go home. I pull out my ingredients, eggs, flour, a little salt, a little vanilla. But I had a problem. When I opened the refrigerator, I ain't see no butter. But when I opened up the cabinet, I saw Pam cooking spray, butter flavored. So y'all know what went down. Now listen, I honestly didn't even have the right pan. So I just kind of took a little cookie sheet, mixed everything together. That look like that's enough. I don't see how grandma do this. And instead of pouring it and it being smooth, I kind of had to scrape it out because it wasn't really working. And then I just threw it in the oven. I didn't even let the oven preheat. And all I can say is I'm so glad my mama wasn't home, because if my mama was home, she would have said, baby, you're going to have to eat that. We don't waste no groceries in the house. And so I had to go to the trash can. I had to try to scrape it out, put it at the bottom of the trash can. Then I had to take the pan and throw it in the neighbor's yard. And then I had to explain why I don't have the pan anymore. But then I'm like, well, maybe she ain't going to look for it, and we're going to be okay. But then I learned something special. When you try to match someone else's recipe without their guidance, you're going to burn your cake. So let me make this make sense for you, because I know everybody doesn't bake cakes. I know you see them being all successful, but you don't know what they got to go through to become that way. So instead of you focusing your eyes on their oven, maybe you should focus on yours. Maybe you should be inspired to say, you know what, they made a triple layer red velvet cake. Okay, I'm inspired. Now I got to add my own creation to it. Last night I had the opportunity to spend some time with Dr. Will, Dr. Mike and Dr. Walker, and we're talking, and I realized something. He dominated the stage yesterday. He made y'all feel something. And I told myself, Rashad, you ain't got to copy that. You just got to be you. Because then it complements each other. See, today is all about you. Because I don't want you to burn your cake. You know what happens when you burn your cake? You got to start all over. But if you were just to take your time, appreciate the process that you're going through. That's what I'm telling you today. I know the work we do is hard. I know it's not easy. But like I told our friend back there, you are worthy. See, I wanted to make you feel something, because I think for some reason, everybody thinks that you all just are like Superman, Superwoman. And nobody really asks you, hey, how are you doing? And then you feel like, you meet your people you serve, and you're like, man, I got to carry this burden all alone. And then not to mention, when you go home, it's not like you may not have any other roles. And now you're more frustrated because now you may be a parent. And sometimes you just want to sit in the car and you just don't even listen to music. Or you come to work listening to gospel, you leave work listening to some. And I'm just going to leave it at that. And y'all guilty because y'all laugh, so you know exactly what I'm talking about. But that's okay. But I want you to start taking care of you. I need you to start taking care of you. So I want to do something special. It's not going to really be fair, because my friends, you know what? My friends that are in the back of the room, can I get you to choose a section what team you want to be a part of? Okay. Oh, so y'all cheating. Y'all like, I ain't moving. Okay, well, it's just going to be harder for y'all. That's fine. So what I need to do, I need a volunteer from each group. All right, so let's go. Please. Thank you. Okay, let's go. I like the lime green. It just stuck out to me. Okay, and then you raise your hand, so I'm picking you. Okay, so let me get y'all to come over here. So, what I'm about to do, I'm about to take this down so I can talk to y'all. Now I'm going to stop this game right now. Let me tell y'all what happened. My leaders know I said, I'm going to give y'all the instructions, but I'm not going to tell the rest of the group. In the moment you didn't know what to do, a lot of people, I saw you look back like, what you just say? I want you to understand the power of communication. See, because I didn't communicate effectively, everybody else had to suffer. Okay, let me bring that back. Please be seated, ladies. Thank y'all. Let me bring that back so you can hear what I'm trying to say. Why didn't anyone come back to me and say, hey, what are we supposed to do? Like, what was so hard to say, hey, I didn't understand that. Can you explain that again? So nobody came back to my leaders to say, hey, what's going on here? Y'all just went with it. Ain't y'all tired of just going with it? This is why you can't create the same results over and over when you're baking that cake, because you don't write nothing down. You don't ask follow-up questions. You just say, okay, I'm getting in the kitchen. Okay, I'm just going to do whatever, because I don't really understand the instructions. But when you just take the time to say, okay, can somebody explain this to me? Hey, can you break this down for me? Hey, I didn't get that. I don't understand what you're really trying to say. And everything changes. Why are we so afraid to communicate with one another? Why are we so afraid to work with one another? You know you can make a recipe better, right? Like Mr. Three-Piece Suit, when I see you, brother, you sharp. So in my mind, I'm thinking, one day I'm gonna have to wear a three-piece suit up here. And now I got to figure out how to add to this. That lime green, I don't know if lime green will look good on me, so I'm going to let you have it. But it looks good. You made the choice to say, you know what, hey, I'm going to wear this. And so I need y'all to understand there is nothing wrong with communicating with one another. We don't have to always keep everything a big secret. Because one thing I can tell you with confidence is that even if I gave you my recipe, you couldn't do what I do. But I am going to tell y'all what happens, right? We think, oh yeah, this my secret. And don't nobody care. Don't nobody care. And I know that's not proper English, but again, I'm going to blame it for my Alabama roots, okay? Don't nobody care. We have to stop trying to hold everything as a secret, because what we're doing is we're punishing the people that we're serving. We're causing the people that we serve to have some conflict. Some issues. I know I'm making y'all mad, so let me just move on to my next point. Listen, I want to get back to the cake reset on a serious note. Again, it's proof, pause, proceed. And if you would just take that time to stop trying to prove that you belong and just be. If you would take the time to pause and listen to what your body is telling you. I'm not saying that something is going to be wrong, but what I'm saying is it's to a point where we got to stop thinking that self-care is just going to get a massage or go get our nails done or going to the park. To me, that's not self-care. Self-care is looking at this hard thing and saying, you know what? Why did this beat me up today? Because it doesn't matter how many jobs you go after, your habit's going to follow you. So you can keep blaming the boss, you can keep blaming the system, but at the end of the day, what are we doing to change it? Like, what are we doing to say, you know what, I'm empowered? When I heard that you're getting ready to retire and you've been here, what did they say, 25 to 30 plus years serving? Do y'all know that's amazing? I can only imagine how many seasonings and how much sugar you got in your cabinet. You probably got stuff I ain't even heard of. But what I can do is I can come learn from you. Because you did something that most people don't do. And a lot of people are missing out on this. You have 30 plus years. Sustainability. So what you do works. I would be a fool not to ask you, hey, can you talk to me? Can you explain to me how this works? Now I got to go make my own, but I can at least use you as guidance. Because I don't know why we feel like we got to do all this alone. We don't. We do it alone because we choose to be alone. Have you not realized that if you take the time to tell people your dreams, what ends up happening is you find out that there are some people that have the same dream. And then you build something, we call that having something in common. And now we have something in common, now we can build from each other. And I know you probably wonder, what does this have to do with cake? I need you to understand that there's always different types of pound cake. But the consumer gets to choose what pound cake they want. You walk down the grocery aisle, you're going to see Dunkin' Hines. You're going to see these different flavors. Not everybody can make a homemade cake from scratch. That's okay. You make you the best box cake as you can. And do it with pride. I tell people quick, yeah, it came from the box. Because if I was to sit up here and try to prove something, it ain't going to be good. Y'all ever had to sift flour? And for those that don't know what that is, you got you put a little flour and you just doing this. That's boring. And then, I don't know why this just hit me, but you ever cracked the egg before? If you never cracked the egg, we can't get to the good stuff. So sometimes life has to crack you in order to get to the good stuff. Not to mention, you can't bake no cake in the cold oven. So while you steady running from adversity, learning, I'm just preheating right now. But when this cake come out this oven, I'm going to be a bad mama. Shut your mouth. Ooh. Like, I need you to hear me when I say, when you take the time to stop trying to prove, when you allow yourself to pause and then proceed, you're going to do everything that you desire to do. Y'all play Monopoly up here? Now, the thing I love about Monopoly is when you pass go, how you get that 200. I better get my 200 when I pass go, because I had to go all the way around the board. Okay, let me bring this back to you and bring this to life. You had to go through everything you went through. Now, although when I was pouring into you, I saw other people wiping their eyes. So I know we all had to go through something. And can I tell you something very special? I know I'm not everybody's cup of tea in here. It's going to be somebody that say, oh, yeah, that didn't work for me. That's okay, you might be a vegan. But I want y'all to stop trying to worry about pleasing everybody else, because my mission was just to find one person, and I found you. So again, thank you. Now what I want to do, I call this the cool off stage. And I got something free for y'all. So on the screen, if you would just take out your phone, and it's going to be something where you just answer 5 simple questions. I'm going to give you a PDF called Cake for the Soul. And it's a free guide. You can share it with your neighbors, whoever you want to do. And if you can't download it right now, please don't panic. You're going to get an email tomorrow with that PDF. Because I know one thing that people tell us is that we don't have enough resources, or we're tired of hearing the same stuff over and over. Well, listen, this PDF is going to be real simple, and I'm going to tell you, I'm going to give y'all a little secret too. When it comes to serving cake, it tastes better when you share it. See, I can sit up here and say, I love what I do, I'm great at what I do, but imagine if you say, you know what, Rashad was amazing. He made me smile and think about things. Can we get that back on the screen? I think there's a few people that's still trying to get it. But on a serious note, this is not about me. This is about me serving you all. When I was talking with Donna and Alex, the first thing I told them, I said, I don't want to sell any books here. I want to give them away. I'm not here to make a profit off of anything. I'm here to serve you all because I genuinely care about the work that y'all are doing. And if nobody has took the time to tell you this today, I genuinely love you. Not in a weird, creepy way, but, I genuinely love you because I understand what it takes to do the work you do. I understand how it feels to give your all to everything and wonder if you even got enough for yourself. I understand what it feels like to go home and you just want to cry, but you don't know how. I understand how it feels to be so excited with life and everything is working. Like, I get these moments, and I just want to make sure that you had everything you need to become the person that you desire to be. This is bigger than me. The best thing that you can do for me is make sure that we fill this room to the capacity to where they turning around and they're saying, man, we got to find some more chairs. To the capacity that the world knows that the people in human services genuinely care about the people that we're serving. To the capacity that when a college graduate goes to school, they're going to sit back and say, hey, I want to major in this. Because everybody's not going to be an engineer. But when you're good with people, when you have those good experiences, that's what really encourages people to become what you want them to become. The reason I became a social worker is because when I was getting chemotherapy, my social worker didn't ask me anything. I didn't have any resources. She didn't say anything. She just handed me a piece of paper and said, hey, good luck. So it was at that moment I told myself, I'm going to become a social worker. Not only am I going to become a social worker, I'm going to go back and work in the cancer field because I know what it felt like not to have the resources I wanted or needed. Here I am punishing myself because at 22, when they told me I had to go through cancer, nobody told me about fertility preservation. Now here I am married with my wife for 5 years, and we got to watch all of our friends have kids, and we don't know when our time is coming. Do you not realize that could be heavy on me too? But yet you would never know because I take care of myself. So I'm not saying life is just going to get easy because you ate some cake. But what I'm saying is you begin to understand why you need to eat some cake. Because every day I have to tell myself, hey, it's going to be okay, push through. It's going to all work out. Don't you dare give up on yourself, Rashad. Don't you dare quit. You got people counting on you. And what begins to happen, as I allow myself to feel, I start to find my community of people where I don't always have to be Superman, where I can take off that crown. See, the reason why people can't pour into you is because you keep wearing this cape. Nobody told you you had to wear the cape. But because you were so ready to prove that you belong, you put on this cape. Instead of pausing and saying, you know what, who am I? All right, now let me proceed. Now, before we take this cake out of the oven, I want to tell y'all what CAKE stands for. It's real simple. C, continue to learn. A, always love yourself. K, know your worth. And E, enjoy your life. So when I'm saying don't burn your cake, what I'm really saying is don't stop learning about you. Don't stop loving you. Don't forget your worth. And don't stop enjoying your life. You ain't got to have money to enjoy your life. Y'all do know that, right? There's this thing I like to do called mindfulness. I'm in Puerto Rico right now. Y'all don't even know it. But when we learn to see the value in what we do, when we learn to see the value of who we are, we begin to allow ourselves to be present. And I need you to hear me when I say this. The world doesn't need your perfection. It needs your presence. It needs your presence. That's all it needs, your presence. That means you come in and you be the best version of you, and everything else is going to work out. Everything is going to work out. Because if you follow the recipe, what you begin to discover is because you have a recipe, you know what's wrong. Oh, y'all kicking me off the stage? But because you have a recipe, you know what's wrong. Now you can go back and say, hey, I tried 2 eggs, that didn't work, so let me add 3. Okay, hey, I tried to talk to my boss, but that didn't work, so let me see if I can understand the problem first and approach this the next way. Because if I'm already defensive, of course I'm not going to hear what you got to say. Okay, I realized my oven don't get that hot, so I got to either replace this oven or I need to figure out what temperature I can thrive in. And that's called culture. Am I in a culture that's going to help me thrive? That's going to help me rise? Okay, if I'm not, how do I fix that? You know what? Okay. So maybe it's something simple as, I'm starting to become lactose intolerant. I need to leave that milk alone. So maybe I need to try oat milk. Maybe I need to try almond milk. What I'm trying to tell you is despite what you're dealing with, despite what you're going through, there's always another option that can help you become the best version of you. Because in the beginning, y'all said ain't no mountain. In the beginning, y'all said ain't no valley. In the beginning, y'all said ain't no river. Meaning that you can become the person that you desire to be, despite what you got to go through. And so before I leave y'all, I want to say thank y'all, but y'all sound so beautiful when we did that Ain't No River. So we're going to do this side again, and we're going to work back. But I know you was kind of, you competitive. I could tell because you said, ain't no valley. So I know you competitive, right? So we're going to end it again on this note. And you know what? I'm going to show y'all some love. I'm going to give y'all another chance. I know y'all don't have a lot of space, so we're going to try this again, okay? Y'all ready? Now, class, when we speak, y'all clap for them, okay? Okay? Nah, I'm just playing. So, again. Ooh, who said hi? Come here for a second. Here you go. Here you go. And I'm going to tell you why I did that. You wasn't afraid to go on to the next step. All right, now let's get back focused.
Ain't no valley.
Oh, okay. You just trying to get a book. I got you. I got you. I'm gonna make you German chocolate, so you gotta come get that all. Now my best for last, cause y'all set the bar up high. Woo, I'm getting excited. I ain't got enough books for everybody, but y'all deserve it. So, before I leave, we're going to say it all together. And I want you to be so smooth when we say this because I want you to understand that despite how high that mountain is, that shouldn't stop you from becoming the best version of you. Despite how far in the valley that you got to go, that shouldn't stop you from becoming the best version of you. And even if you can't swim, find somebody with a boat. That should not stop you from becoming the best version of you across that river. Some of y'all missed this message because you were so distracted on other things. But what I want to tell you is this. I pray you fight through what you're battling because the world needs you. I need you. I didn't come on this stage to be the most popular. I came on the stage to pour. And the thing about when you're pouring into others, everybody's not able to receive because they have this lid on their cup. And so I leave you with this thought. If ain't no mountain high enough, ain't no valley low enough, ain't no river wide enough, what's stopping you from becoming the best version of you?